under my feet. I feel the sky tumbling down. I feel my heart start to tremble.
Well, it's pretty much a well-known fact that we all hate moving. For many of us, it is emotional, stressful, and the worst part is we just don't know how to let go of stuff we no longer need. Well, thankfully, there are professionals for this, and we have one in studio with us this evening, Varsha Singh from ClutterBGone. Welcome to What She Said.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
I have to tell you, that's the best name ever. I think that's the
ClutterBGone,
best
it's
name
great.
ever.
It's a cute name, and actually people remember it. If it's not the full name, they remember the B, so that's kind of cute, and it's family friendly as well, right? Yeah, I mean, the name is something people remember.
So take us through the services that ClutterBGone offers.
So we offer organizing, decluttering, we do downsizing, life transitions, we do estates. So if someone has passed, we help with the home clearing or getting the home ready for sale. And we also offer packing, moving services, and unpacking services.
So let's start with the organizing and decluttering.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people, particularly I would say people as they get into the senior years, they have a lot of things that they think that their children or grandchildren are going to want. And Christine and I were talking about this earlier. It's like the millennials do not want our antiques.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of people feel or they take it on because of guilt. So if your parents or your grandparents are saving things for you and they want to pass it on to you, a lot of family members feel guilty and they feel like they have to take it. And then they just dump it in their basement or their garage and
Create more clutter.
Create more clutter. And that's the problem. People create dumping zones, and that is the area where everything goes that they don't know what to do with, that they don't want.
So when you're called in to help someone declutter, clutter their home, and to get rid of this stuff, how do you must have some kind of like psychotherapy background there, because I mean it's very emotional for people. How do you say you really do need to get rid of this?
So it's a process. We start with the consultation and needs assessment, and we're spending time with our clients, not only seeing their space, seeing the volume of clutter they have, but we're assessing their behavioral habits, how they think, how they function, how they need that space to work for them, understanding what their expectations and goals are. Our lead principal organizer is the one who does our consultations, and she actually does have a background in psychoanalysis, and so she's able to understand our clients, and we have an assessment we walk our clients through to understand these things, and then we transcribe that to our team so they know how to work with these clients moving into a session.
Why do you think it is that it's so emotional for people? I mean, this is the perfect solution to have somebody who's not emotionally connected to anything come in and sort of transmit the big picture.
Having a third party come in and do that for you, it puts things into perspective for you. So we actually have a client that we're working with now, helping her downsize, and she said to me yesterday, it was so easy for me to let go of things when I saw the volume I had. Once everything is sorted and categorized, the client comes in and they ultimately make that decision on what they want and what can be recycled or what can be donated. So I think that process of the client actually seeing the volume of each individual item or category of items they have kind of opens their eyes to that.
You know, people, I think, ask themselves the question, why have I kept all this stuff? Why did my mother keep all this stuff? What is it? You being in the business, what do you think?
I think it's, one, people don't have the time anymore. It's not like you work your shifts and you go home. A lot of people are working 44 hours a week, if not more. And when they don't have the time to deal with it, they would rather spend their time with their family or doing things that they love instead of dealing with the clutter. And then that's how those dumping zones happen. They think, oh, I'll deal with it eventually. I'll get to it eventually.
And then it becomes overwhelming.
Exactly.
It's just overwhelming. I mean,
Exactly.
I've watched this happen to family members where there is so much stuff.
Yeah, I have a friend whose mom whose father just died, and her mom moved,
Yeah.
and it's a nightmare going
It's
through the stuff. And every move they made, she took all the junk, all the dumping ground
Yes.
with her, and then created another dumping ground with the new stuff.
Exactly.
So she bought like, I don't know how many, 9 slow cookers that were found because she just forgot that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's money wasted, right? And so a lot of the times we tell our clients, this is an investment that you're making, so you don't fall into the disorganization again. So it's people are overwhelmed when they look at clutter. They are too busy to even deal with their clutter, and so you call professionals in who knows how to handle that.
So I think one of the fears I heard, because I did suggest that my relative bring in somebody
Yes.
to help, and she thinks, well, she's like, well, what if they make me throw something away that's valuable or
Yes.
that could be sold? I mean, she has an Edwardian glass collection.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they're not going to do that. But how do you convince?
So it's not about convincing them, it's giving them the resources. So when we come in, and if our client's expectation is that there are valuables here that I would like to monetize, we give them the resources. So we're either partnered with people, or we know of individuals that can come in and assess the value of an item. Or you could do consignment. We have a number of consignment stores that we work with that will help monetize the items. We don't make clients throw anything out, and that's the biggest misconception.
That's the key point, that you help them get rid of it.
Yes.
Do something with it, because most people say, well, what am I going to do? I don't want to have a garage sale.
Exactly.
Or, it's January. What do I do?
Yeah. So we actually did a home clearing where the client wanted all contents of the home thrown out. We then contacted Max Sold. Max Sold is an online auction that the client received close to $10,000 for selling the items instead of dumping it. We had to convince him of this. When he found out that that was the amount of money that the sale brought in, he was shocked. So it's educating the client about the resources out there for them.
So you start off with a consultation.
Yes.
Have you ever gone into a house and you've been overwhelmed by what you've seen?
Sometimes you look around and you think, oh my gosh, where do we even start? But again, it's understanding the client, understanding their expectations, and then kind of having to work with them to prioritize. Some projects are way too large that, you think you need more than 2 individuals on here just to get things going. So we're assessing all of that. The times where we walk in and we're overwhelmed, we're able to, overcome that by our planning and space planning and looking at those different factors.
Is there a line that you won't cross? I mean, would you work with somebody that would be called a hoarder?
We typically don't work with hoarders because they're happy with their environment. They typically don't reach out.
Ask for help, right?
Exactly. They typically don't reach out. It would only be family members that reach out.
Yes. Mom, I'm sending this woman to you. Be nice to her and open the door.
Yeah, but you have to be educated in the hoarding tendencies because it's a mental illness. So
Right.
it's an important place that you kind of have to walk that line to see if you're qualified to deal with somebody like that.
How much notice do potential customers have to give you? Like if they called you, I mean, how soon could you be there? Or how much notice do you need?
We typically can do next day consultation. It's just based on, what the volume for consultation is like, but we typically can do a next day. The availability of the client or how quickly we could start a project is the client's availability. So we have 3 or 4 different teams that can go out, so we're not limited in that sense.
So about pricing, I mean, do you price it on the actual time it takes you, or do you give sort of this is a ballpark figure, estimate?
We bill based on the actual time. So we'll go in and we'll assess and say this is the estimated time, but the actual time is what's built.
So how do people get hold of you?
They can call us. They can check on our website, email, in any form that we're all on social media. So
And the website is?
ClutterBGone.ca.
And it's just B.
Just
B.
the letter B.
Just take out the E and you're good.
Yes.
This is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us this
No
evening.
problem. Thank you for having us.
This is what she said. Stay with us.